Hello students, welcome to the next module. Today we are going to study about the Bayes theorem, right? This is a very important theorem of probability. It is also known as the partition theorem, where we have to find out the reverse probability, right? Now we just take one condition to explain this theorem. We have two bags, let's say bag 1 and bag 2, represented by B1 and B2. Both are having red and white color balls, right? So let's say bag 1 has 4 white balls and 5 red balls, and bag 2 has 7 white balls and 8 red balls. We need to find out the probability of getting a red ball from bag 1, right? Now what we are supposed to do is, we are supposed to find out PR by B1, right? For which we need to select any one of the bags first. Now we are not given that from which particular bag are we supposed to select this. Okay, so what we will do is, we will simply we have to find out the probability of choosing a red color ball from bag 1. Okay, for which we need to select any bag out of the two. That is, if I take up bag 1, out of the two bags, if I'm taking bag 1, its probability is 1 by 2, and the probability of bag 2 is also equal to 1 by 2, right? So by Bayes theorem, I can apply that if I choose bag B1, probability of choosing bag 1 into probability of getting this will be represented as B1 by A or B1 by R, simply. Right, so we have to choose a red ball. We have to find out the probability that it is selected from the first bag, right? So we are already aware of the probability, that is PB1 by R is equal to PB1, that is selecting the first bag, into probability of getting a red ball from bag 1, right, upon PB1 into PA upon B1 plus PB2 into PR upon B2. So this is our favorable outcome and this is our total outcome. Now if I select bag 1, its probability 1 by 2. And what is the probability that if I take bag 1, the ball I get is red in color? It is 5 by 9. Likewise, we have 1 by 2 into 5 by 9 here, and if out of the total outcome, the second part is, if I choose bag 2, the probability of selecting bag 2 is 1 by 2 again, and getting a red ball is 8 by 15. So simply just finding out the answer, we get it as 25 by 49. This is what we get the answer as, right? Now simply we move on to our exercise. To make this exercise much more clear, Bayes theorem much clear, I'll start with the very first question. An urn contains 5 red and 5 black balls. A ball is drawn at random, its color is noted and is returned to the urn. Moreover, 2 additional balls of the color drawn are put in the urn, and then a ball is drawn at random. What is the probability that the second ball is red, right? Now we have a condition. Just see, we have to draw 2 balls, right? So we have to take out 2 balls, all right? Now if the first ball is red in color, okay, now what does the question states? We have to find that the second ball is also red in color. If I take out the first ball, right, and it is red in color, what do? I put 2 more red color balls, right? So what happens? My total red color balls become 7, right? And total number of balls in that urn become 12, right? So this way we can find out the probability of getting the red color ball in both the cases. Then if in my first draw I have a black color ball, right? So if I have a black color ball, in that case, remember, what will I have to do? In that case, I will not be keeping the balls back in the I will not be keeping the balls, the same color ball, in the urn, right? Because it is already mentioned in the question, that is a ball is drawn, its color is noted and is returned. Moreover, 2 additional balls of color drawn are put in the urn and then a ball is drawn at random. What is the probability that the second ball is red, right? So out of the 2 balls, right, maybe I have first red ball and then a black ball, or I have both of them as the red balls, or I have both as black balls, or probably I have the first black ball and the second one is a red color ball, right? So which one is a favorable outcome here? One is the one that is holding the second ball as red in color, and these are the favorable ones, right? So if what I find out the probability that in this particular case I keep a red color ball, right? So probability of drawing a red color ball, first red color ball, is 5 by 10, and then what do? We add another red ball, right? So now the total number of red balls, how many are they? The number of red balls now becomes 7, right? And out of how many? 12. Or it can be plus 5 black balls are there now in the second case. In this case, the first ball that is drawn is black in color. So probability of drawing a black ball is 5 by 10. Now again in the urn, black balls are increased. So 7 black balls and total number of balls become 12. But this will not affect the red color balls. So red color balls are still 5, right? But the total number changes to 12. So this is 35 upon 120 plus 25 upon 120. So this is in all 60 upon 120, which is 1 by 2. Right? So this is like one simple way of doing this particular question number 1, without the usage of formula as such. Okay. Now, if I move on to the second question. A bag contains 4 red and 4 black balls. Another bag contains 2 red and 6 black balls. One of the 2 bags is selected and a ball is drawn from the bag which is found to be red. Find the probability that the ball is drawn from the first bag, right? So in this case, we have bag 1 and bag 2. Bag 1 has 4 red, 4 black, and this has 2 red and 6 black balls, right? So I put the event as I can either use simply E1, right? Or simply I have to find out the probability of find the probability that the ball is drawn from the first bag. So we have to find out the probability that the ball is drawn, right? So it will be P. We have to find out the probability that from the ball is red in color, right? And it is drawn from the first bag. That is, we have to find out P B1 by R, right? Now we already know. There is one thing we already know, that if I select my first bag, its probability will be equal to the selection of the second bag, which will be equal to 1 by 2. Okay. Now, according to the formula, another thing I need to know, because this is a reverse probability, what will be PR by B1? Means choosing a red color ball, from bag 1. It will be 4 by 8. And choosing a red color ball out of bag 2. It will be 2 by 8, right? So this is what we put our formula as. So we have to find out PB by R1, which is PB1 into PR by B1, okay, upon PB1 into PR by B1 plus PB2 into PR by B2, which we have found out, right? And this becomes the reverse probability. So simply we just put down the values, okay, and calculate our answer, that is 4 by 6 or simply 2 by 3. I hope that's clear to you, right? We move on to our next question, that is question number 3. See, in question number 3, we have, let's say, one of the students in a college, it is known that 60% reside in a hostel. So number of students who reside in a hostel are 60% and 40% are day scholars. Without hostel, 40%. Previous year results report that 30% of all the students who reside in hostel attain grade A. So probability of getting a grade A knowing that the student is a hostler, that is PA by H. I take A as the event. A is the event of getting grade A, right? So probability of getting grade A knowing that it's a hostler is 30%, and probability of getting grade A knowing that it's a day scholar is 20%. What are we supposed to find out? We are supposed to find out the probability of a hostler such that he gets grade A. We select a student who has a grade A. So the condition is having grade A, right? And we have to find out the probability that he or she is a hostler. So the formula itself would be PH by A is equal to P H into PA by H upon PH into PA by H plus PD into PA by D. Okay, so moving on with this formula, we can insert the values. PH is 60%, that is 0.6 into PA by H, which is 0.3, 0.6 into 0.3, again 0.6 into 0.3 plus probability of this is 0.4 plus into PA by D, which is 0.2. So this becomes 0.18 upon 0.18 plus 0.08. So this is 0.18 upon 0.26. So 18 upon 26, that is 2 9s are 2 13s are. So 9 by 13 is the probability, right? Moving on to question number 4. In answering a question on a multiple choice test, a student either knows the answer or guesses it, right? So we can take E1 as the event that the student knows the answer, right? And we can take E2 as the event such that the student guesses the answer. Okay. Now, it is given, let 3 by 4 be the probability that he knows the answer and 1 by 4 be the probability that he guesses, assuming that a student who guesses at the answer will be correct with probability 1 by 4. That is, we are given that probability of the correct answer such that the student guesses it is 1 by 4, that is PA by E2. So A is the event of correct answer, right? And what will be the probability that the answer is correct such that the student knows the answer? Obviously, it is going to be taken as 1. Okay, you know the answer, right? And you write the correct answer. The probability is obviously 1 in that case. That is PA by E1 is 1. Now we have to find out the probability that the student knows the answer such that it is the correct answer. So we have to find out the probability that the answer is correct. We need to find out the probability that the student knows the answer. That is, we have to find out the reverse probability, PE1 by A. Applying the formula PE1 into PA by E1 upon PE1 into PA by E1 plus PE2 into PA by E2. So we have PE1 as 3 by 4 into PA by E1. A by E1 is 1 upon 3 by 4 into 1 plus PE2, which is 1 by 4 into PA by E2, which is again 1 by 4. So this is 3 upon 4 upon 3 upon 4 plus 1 by 16. So if I multiply this with 4 and this 2 with 4, so this is 12 upon 16 plus 1 upon 16, that is 13 upon 16. So 3 by 4 into 16 upon 13. So that is 4 4s are. So the probability is 12 by 13. That is the answer that we are going to get here, right? Moving on to question number 5. A laboratory blood test is 99% effective in depicting a certain disease when it is in fact present. However, the test also yields a false positive result for 0.5% of the healthy person tested. If 0.1% of the population actually has the disease, what is the probability that a person has the disease given that the result is positive. So we can find out, we can write E1 as the event that person has disease, right? And what is the probability that he has a disease? The probability is 0.1%, that is 0.001. Okay, now E2 is the event that person does not have disease. So what is its probability? Its probability is 1 minus PE1. So that is 1 minus 0.001, which is 0.999. Okay. Now, we know that a laboratory blood test is 99% effective in detecting a certain disease when it is in fact present. So, probability of detection when, or positive result when disease is there or a person has a disease, right? So we can write down A as result is positive, that the test result is positive or the disease is detected. So we take it as PA by E1, which is given to us as 99%, so 0.99, right? Likewise, we have false positive result for 0.5% of the healthy persons tested. So PA by E2, that is a person, the result is positive, that such that the person does not have a disease, but still it is positive, false positive. So that is 0.5%. So that is 0.005 again, right? Now we need to find out the probability that the person has the disease given that his test result is positive. So test result is positive. This means we have to find out test result is positive. That is A is the condition here, right? And the person has a disease. The person has a disease. This means we are supposed to find out PE1 by A. So this will be PE1 into PA by E1 upon PE2 into PA by E2 plus PE1 PA by E1, right? Putting the values here, so what do we get? We get PE1 is 0.001 into PA by E1, that is 0.99. This is again PE2, which is 0.999 into A by E2, 0.005 plus 0.001 into 0.99, right? So this is, let's say, 990 upon 4995 plus 990, right? So we can further solve it. This is 990 and 4995 plus 990 gives us 5985. So this can be further reduced and the answer can be found out. I hope that's clear. Right? Moving on to the sixth question, that is, there are 3 coins. One is a two-headed coin, right? Having head on both the faces. Another is a biased coin that shows up heads in 75% of the time, and third is an unbiased coin. One of the 3 coins is tossed at random. It shows heads. What is the probability that it was the two-headed coin? So we have a coin. We have 3 coins in fact, right? So let's say E1, E2 and E3. So these are the probabilities of selecting the 3 coins. So what will be PE1? it will be equal to PE2, which will be equal to PE3. Each of them are equally likely outcomes, so their probability will be 1 by 3. Next is, let's say A is the event of getting ahead, right? So what is the probability of getting ahead such that I choose E1, that is the first coin, right? So head such that I use the second one, that it's 75% or 0.75, or simply I can write it as 3 by 4 also. And probability of getting ahead such that I choose the third coin, right? And the third coin is a normal coin, right? So it will show either a head or a tail, unbiased coin. So it will be 1 by, probability is 1 by 2 in this case. We have to find out the probability that it was the two-headed coin, right? So we have to find out the probability of a two-headed coin such that we get a head. Condition is getting a head, and it's a two-headed coin. Two-headed coin is the first one. So we have to find out PE1 by A, right? So the formula would be PE1 into PA by E1 plus upon PE1 into PA by E1 plus PE2 into PA by E2 plus PE3 into PA by E3, right? Simply we'll be putting the values and calculating the answer. So that's 1 by 3 into A by E1, that's 1. So this is again 1 by 3 into 1 plus 1 by 3 into 3 by 4 plus 1 by 3 into 1 by 2. So this is 1 by 3. This is again 1 by 3 plus 1 by 4 plus 1 by 6. And likewise you can calculate and simplify the answer and find it out, the probability. This is how you're going to do this, right? So question number 7 is for self practice, which you can do by yourself. We move on to question number 8. So moving on to question number 8, we have a factory has two machines, A and B. Past record shows that machine A produced 60% of the items of output and B produced 40% of the items. Further, 2% of the items by A and 1% by B were defective. All the items were put in a stockpile and one was selected. What is the probability that it was produced by machine B, right? So E1 be the event of production of items by machine A, right? So I can write PE1 as 60% and E2 be the event of production of an item by machine B. So that is given to us as 40%, right? Now A is the event of producing defective items. So getting a defective item such that it was produced by machine A is 2% and defective item produced by machine B was 1%. So what are we supposed to find out? We are supposed to find out that the machine selected is the machine B such that the item is defective. So condition is of a defective item. Again, formula would be PE2 into PA by E2 upon PE1 into PA by E1 plus PE2 into PA by E2, right? So this is PE2, that is 0.4 into A by E2 is this is 1.016, that is 1 upon 4.